This is 6 Sports.
Coach, you look emotional. Why are you crying?
Hey, hell of a year. Hell of a year. Proud of my guys. Happy for you guys. Happy for Cassius. Just a good day.
The entire Big Ten men's basketball season has felt like a build-up to this moment. You just had a feeling that two of the best teams in the conference, who just so happen to be rivals from the same state, were going to get the opportunity to compete for a championship. But in the final game of the regular season, that very seldom happens. It's a perfect script for an Academy Award-winning drama. Number 9 Michigan State hosting number 7 Michigan, a share of the Big Ten title on the line. And like any good drama, it was compelling, intense, emotional, passionate, you name it. First half, Wolverines letting Sparty know they were out for revenge. Iggy Brazdeikis rattles the rim. Then in transition, he spots up and lets it fly. Michigan with a 10-point lead and just cruising along in EL. But this is where you felt the momentum start to shift. In minute 30 to play before the half, Kyle Arms laying it all on the line, and that bucket got the Breslin rocking. This didn't hurt either. Next possession, Xavier Tillman says, "This is our house," with the two-handed slam. Spartans within 6 at the half. Now, I don't know what the Spartans said at halftime, but it ignited a firestorm in the second. Matt McQuaid for 3. Then his senior cohort, Kenny Goins, did the same on their big night. But Michigan State won this one thanks to Cassius Winston's play down the stretch. As he finished with 23 points, Michigan State gets the season sweep of Michigan. 75-63 the final for a share of the Big Ten title. And what a way to put a bow on senior night for Goins and McQuaid. Our sports director, Fred Heumann, is still at the Breslin, and after the game, Freddie, you had the opportunity to get inside Tom Izzo's mind for a minute. What a game, what an atmosphere. How emotional of a night is this for him?
Hi, Audrey. Think back to February 5th. The Spartans lost to Illinois, their 3rd straight Big Ten loss, and the roof was caving in. They've since won 7 out of 8 games, beat their arch rival twice, and share the Big Ten title. Right before the game in that tunnel, Tom Izzo was crying as his team ran out on the floor. I caught up with him right after the game in the arms of his former player, Mateen Cleaves, and guess what? Izzo was crying again.
Just like old times.
That remind you of anything?
Yeah, good time.
Sharing it with that guy is all right, isn't it?
Oh, having him, Smitty, having so many guys come back. Tell you, Fred, this is one of the best. A lot of good ones, but this is one of the best.
How'd you win this one, Tom?
Grit the second half. You know, Michigan kicked our butt the first half in every way. They deserve a lot of credit. They're a really good team. The second half, we didn't want to die. We didn't want to leave this place, you know. It doesn't get any better than this.
Since you lost those 3 straight, you won 7 out of 8 and beat Michigan twice without 2 of your best players.
Yeah, but I got a lot of good players. I got a great staff, and great fans, and great TV guys.
Another Izzo emotional moment. You heard him say one of his best ever. Take a look at your banners. They got one to match last year now. They hung them here a while ago, 2019 to go with 2018. And Izzo told the crowd today, Nick Ward is a go for the Big Ten tournament. Spartans will play Friday morning. What a night here at the Breslin Center. Live in East Lansing, Fred Heumann. Audrey, back to you.
You can say that again. Thanks so much, Fred. Well, all Spartan and Wolverine fans had their TVs turned on to this Big Ten matchup earlier in the afternoon. Number 11 Purdue on the road facing Northwestern, and a share of the Big Ten title, which they would share with Michigan State, on the line for the Boilermakers. First half, Wildcats showing their claws, a.k.a. Vic Law doing work down low for 2 of his 13. Northwestern within 2. But you can't sleep on the Boilermakers from beyond the arc. That's just not right. Ryan Klein from way downtown. Purdue back on top by 6. And more of the same in the second half. Eric Hunter Jr. left all alone on an island. It's money, and that 3 put Purdue up by 15. And what's a game without a Carson Edwards 3 ball? That put this game to bed. He scored 21 points. Purdue gets the job done, beating Northwestern 70-57. So they capture a share of the conference title with Michigan State, and they are the number 2 seed in the Big Ten tourney.
these guys have been great. Like we've hung in there. We have some guys that have really worked on their game. We have a bunch of guys that can shoot the basketball. When our decision making's good, and I think we're pretty tough to guard, but just our coaches have done a good job of assembling a team and getting guys that want to be at Purdue that we can coach.
I believe it was us just buying in. You know, like we were young guys. I mean, a lot of us didn't have as much experience, but we just bought into what Coach Payne was telling us, and we just trusted in each other and took it one game at a time.
The theatrics associated with March and college hoops have been in full effect in Indianapolis for this year's Big Ten women's basketball tournament, and specifically for the Michigan women. Yesterday, the fourth-seeded Wolverines needed double overtime to get past Wisconsin, and today they were involved in another heated battle. It was semifinal Saturday at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Top-seeded Maryland, their opponent. If you remember, the Terrapins beat the MSU women to get here. We're going right to it, and why not? Fourth quarter with under a minute and a half to play. Michigan trailing by 2 until Nicole Munger stops and pops from beyond the arc, and the bench goes wild. She had a day, putting up 20 points. Wolverines up by 1. Maryland punches right back next possession. Leave it to no other than Kayla Charles and her signature fadeaway J to put the Terrapins back on top by 1. So now under 30 to play. It is intense. I'm telling you, Wolverines trying to regain the lead, and that's what Naz Hillman does. Grabs the offensive board, gets the putback. Tell me you're not entertained. So with 10 seconds to play, Charles gets fouled and knocks down both shots. Maryland up 73-72, and the Wolverines go to the drawing board for one final play. But they fumble the inbound pass, and Maryland survives 73-72, the final, to advance to the Big Ten title game. March is just amazing. Well, in the midst of all the hoop talk, we can't forget about Michigan State's hockey team. The Spartans fell to Notre Dame tonight 2-0 in Game 2 of the Big Ten tournament, and with the loss, their season comes to a close. And closing sports right now, we'll be back. Diane Phillips will be with a look at our forecast.